Hey lovelies, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here, and today's video is going to be a review and try on video. So the products that I'm going to be reviewing today are the Profusion Cosmetics X Mean Girls collaboration here. So I picked up a couple of the products from the collaboration. I didn't even know that Profusion was doing a collaboration with Mean Girls. I just happened to be in Walmart and they had like a display in the makeup section of the some of their collection. So I just picked up some of them, not all of them. They had quite a few things, but I just picked up a little bit. But anyway, so I just thought I'd try it on camera, review it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right on into this video. Alright, so I picked up about 3 products from, like I said, the collection. Like, I don't even know if it was a whole collection. Like, it was pretty picked through, so I just grabbed what I was interested in. So I picked up this face palette here. It's called You Glow Glen Cocoa, and it's the Candy Graham 1 3-shade palette. So it's a face palette, so it has a bronzer, a blush, and then a highlighter. And then the other 2 products I picked up are eyeshadow palettes. So we have the Caddy Heron, I'm probably saying that wrong, Heron palette. And then we have the Regina George palette. So here's the Caddy one, or Katie. I don't know if it's Katie or Caddy. Like I said, I'm not like a hardcore fan, so. But it's a very, very neutral palette. It looks like it has a pressed glitter here. And then the Regina one, which is more like pinky purples with a little bit of neutrals. I will say the packaging is definitely very cute, like style-wise. The only thing I'm a little annoyed about is when I got them, I opened it up, of course, but it had like this, you know, like a plastic sheet they always have in it, but normally it just kind of loose and you just pull it out. Well, this one was like, kind of like, not super glued, but it was glued down, like it had tacky glue here. So when I pulled it up, it left the glue down here, and so I kind of had to clean it up, and now even though I cleaned it as best I could, it still like sometimes sticks, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm just being overly critical. But other than that, the packaging is really cute. I just wish they hadn't glued down that little plastic thing. Alright, so I'm going to start out with the face palette first. I'm just going to go in with the bronzer, which means I'm going to need to zoom you guys in. Alright, so from what I could see, like I said, the collection, what I saw, was pretty picked over. So I only saw about 2 different palettes, face palettes. There was this one, which was assuming the lightest, and then there was another one, which was a bit darker. Alright, so going with the bronzer. Hopefully I can build it up, because it does look pretty light. So far, not too shabby. It is a little bit kind of powdery, I would say, but it seems like I can build the pigmentation up. My hair is so frizzy today. Alright, so that's on. Not too shabby. It's not, I don't know. I think I put it a little too heavy. I think I should have gone a little bit lighter handed. Yeah, it's not bad. It's actually a little bit darker than I thought it was going to be. I think I should have gone in a little more light-handed. It may have just been that first layer in the pan that always looks a little bit lighter. And then once you get, you know, scrape that first layer off, the actual shade is underneath. So I think it looks pretty fine. Like I said, I think I should have gone in a little lighter-handed, but that was just my bad. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the blush. And the blush, I can already tell, is not going to be my favorite just because it is a bit glowy blush. I can tell that it looks glowy. I personally prefer more like matte blushes because I have texture on my cheeks, and I just find that glowy blushes kind of like accentuate that texture. Sometimes like the highlight does. But I will go ahead and still try it out, and we'll see. Maybe it'll just be the first layer that looks glowy. I hope. Alright. And I can't remember exactly how much these products were. I know the palettes were at least $10 each, but the face palette, I can't remember. It may have been the same price or a little bit less. Alright, so I'm looking up on their website, and the face palette is $6, and then the eyeshadow palettes are $10 each. So I was looking at what all it has, like what all is available. So it looks like there's lashes, there's a cooling mist, there's a lip set, which I did see some of them there, but it was like a lip gloss and something else, and I just didn't, they weren't really anything I wanted. There is also a brush set, and then a hand mirror, and then a bag. So that's all the products that they have in this collaboration. Which I didn't see the hand mirrors there. I would have picked one up. I thought I saw like sponges, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, so it's definitely very glowy, which it's not horrible. It's just, I really wish there was more pigmentation there. I mean, I guess there is. But I just, when I look in the mirror, I just see the glow. I don't really see the pink coming through, or I guess you'd call this a pink, which I just wish I like more like pinky cheeks. Like if I look at myself, I'd not see a nice flush, but this isn't bad. It's just, I don't know, I feel like it is definitely accentuating my texture, which I'm not a huge fan of. But if you like glowy blush, you probably would like this. I don't know, I feel like the camera's picking it up a lot better than it in person. Or maybe it's just the lighting that it's just doing the glowiness. I can't really see the shade that much, but then when I look in the viewfinder, I see the pink. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with the highlighter. Wow, it's pretty blinding. Wow. I was not expecting it to be that blinding. Wow. So far, I'm super impressed with the highlighter. Ooh, blinding. I love it. I love a good blinding highlighter. And $6 for this is really pretty affordable. I mean, the pan sizes are not small. They're pretty decent. So yeah, I'm impressed. Wow, yeah, I'm definitely glowing right now. Alright, so far so good. I do like this. I would say the blush shade is probably my least favorite out of the two, but the highlighter is gorgeous. Really, really love it. And then the bronzer worked pretty well. I really wish the blush was matte, but that's okay. I can always pull out a different blush and just combine them. It's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, I think $6, definitely worth it. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the palette. And I'm only able to try out one, so I'm pretty tempted to just use the Regina one today, because this one's pretty, it's pretty neutral, so I'm going to use this one today, which is the more colorful one. And they had, I think, a third palette, but it wasn't really my color story. Alright, so there's actually 4 palettes in total. There's the Karen Smith one, and then you have the Gretchen Winners one, and then the 2 that I have. Alright, so I'm going to go into Cheese Fries first. This is what this shade's called, the little tan. The light tan color, I'm going to use that as my transition shade, which is basically just going to be setting and prepping my eyes. I don't really expect much, like, to be able to see this shade very well, because it's basically the tone of my eye, my eyelid, but I'm just going to prep it. And these are, from what I'm reviewing, everything's on the website except for this palette. This one is unfortunately sold out. I guess it's the popular one, the Regina one. But all the other palettes are still available when I have filmed this, so. But the face palette is available as well. Alright, so that's on. I just put a light layer on. Alright, next I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is Get In Loser. Kind of like a purplish pink color. Oh, I guess it's actually more pink. It looked purplish, or kind of, I don't know. It's more pink on the lid, actually. These are actually really pigmented. I mean, I haven't tried Profusion in a really long time. So I forgot about their quality. And like I said, I had one palette a long time ago, and I remember liking it. I think I just got overwhelmed with my collection, so I decluttered it because it wasn't my favorite out of my collection. But I remember the quality being there. And I just haven't bought anything else from Profusion. But man, maybe I need to start getting some products from them, because I forgot how good the quality was. I mean, this is only the second shade I've tried, and it's definitely there, and it's pigmented, and it's blending. But the face palette is what I'm impressed with so far. Especially that highlighter. I can't get over the highlighter. But what's really impressive is the price. I mean, it was only $6 for that face palette. And then $10 for a palette is not bad. Alright, so I don't know if I should just leave it as the shade is and then just deepen up the corners, because these two over here are the only... these two are darker shades, so I know if I put this in my crease, it's going to get really dark on me. And the only other shade I could use that's a matte is this pink here, this brighter pink, which I guess I can go ahead and try out. I don't know, I wasn't really wanting to do like a heavy pink look, but you know what, this is a review, so I'm going to do it. Alright, so I'm going to go into Queen Bee here, and we'll see how pigmented it is, if it's really going to stay that bright on the lid or if it's going to fade. I'm going to see if it's going to fade as I blend it, or if it'll stay. So it looks bright. Alright, so that's on. It's pretty bright. I mean, it's not like neon pink, but it's a definitely pink. Alright, so I think I'm going to deepen up the crease now with this brown shade here, which is Caltine Bar. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it's fine. Alright, so I'm going in with that. So far, I'm still pretty impressed with this palette. I think the quality is definitely there. I wasn't planning on doing a pink look today, but that's okay. I really thought that first shade I dipped into was like more like a brown. I will say using this palette makes me want to go rewatch the movie. I haven't watched the movie in a really long time, so I think I'm going to have to watch that this weekend or something. Because I think I've only seen it like maybe twice. Maybe only one time. I watched it because, you know, it's a staple to watch. You have to watch that, or else what are you doing with your life kind of thing. No, I'm just kidding. If you haven't watched it, no worries. It took me a while to watch it too, but I think my husband liked the movie, and he thought it was funny. So he's like, "What? You haven't watched it? We need to watch it." And so we did, and it was really funny. Because my husband likes to quote movies a lot. Well, not like all the time, but you know. And if I don't catch the reference, he's like, "You haven't seen that movie? We gotta watch that movie." Which is fun. It's fun. Alright, so I'm liking this so far. I like that I was able to tone down the pink a little bit by deepening up the corners. Alright, so I think I'm going to go into this shade here, which is called Is Butter a Carb? ? We'll see how that goes on. This one looks, don't get me wrong, looks really pretty, but I've said this before, I'm not a huge fan of pressed glitters. They look gorgeous on the lid, don't get me wrong, but removing them is such a pain. the ColourPop palette that I'm using. This month in my Shop My Stash, I used the pressed glitter in that on the try-on part of that movie. And I kid you not, for the next like 3 days, I had glitter on my face that I just could not seem to get off. No matter how much I try to wash it off or wipe it off, I always had like constant little glitters on my face somewhere, and it was annoying. That turned out beautiful, but the aftermath of it was just annoying. So I hate it when I see like random pieces of glitter. It bugs me for some reason on my face. Because you turn and you see this one shine, and I'm like, ugh, get off my face. No, I guess it's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't know. It triggers me. Wow, that's actually really pretty. I like that. And the shimmer works really well. When I first swatched it, it was kind of like, I swatched them because I was trying to decide, and they didn't look that impressive, so I was a little concerned, but I think it's kind of like a reflect thing, like, you have to get the lighting a certain way to, like, I don't know, see it. So it's definitely on there, and it's pigmented. It's just swatching it, they look very light. So probably not shimmers that you'd use on their own. You'd have to have a base down of some sort. But that looks really pretty in my opinion. Alrighty, so I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup off camera, finish up my eyes, put mascara, eyeliner, and all that good stuff on, and then I'll be back to tell you guys my final thoughts on everything. Alright, so I'm back. The rest of my makeup is all done, and now my final thoughts on everything. I actually really like the products that I picked up. Starting with the face palette. The bronzer worked out really well. The blush is not my favorite. I will say that's the only thing about this that I am not the most craziest about is the blush shade. It's not bad, it's a little too shiny for me. Like I said, I prefer more matte, so if this had been a matte, I'd be completely in love with this palette. I'm being a little over dramatic, but I would really like this palette. The highlighter, on the other hand, is a whole different story. I am really liking this highlighter. I mean, considering I only paid $6 for this, and honestly, this highlighter is pretty good. I'd say it's definitely up there with some of like the quality-wise is up there with some of like high-end products that I have. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this. I even like put it a little bit of the highlighter in the corners of my eyes to kind of finish up the look, and I also put it underneath my brow bone. So yeah, I really like this a lot. But like I said, the only issue I had was with the blush shade. But other than that, the other products worked really well. And then for the palettes, obviously I only got to try out one of the palettes today. I still haven't tried out this one, the Katie one. But this one I was pretty impressed with quality-wise. All the shades worked really well. I will say there is a lot of kick up though. But all the shades worked really well, very pigmented, blended out really easy. I'm not a huge pink fan, but I do really like this look today. I think it actually turned out really well. So yeah, the mattes all worked really well, very pigmented, and the shimmers. Like I said, I think these shimmers are kind of like, are they called foils? I think they're called foils. So they're not like super, super pigmented, like thick-wise. They're more like sheer, kind of like they're more like reflective kind of thing. Does that make sense? The actual shade-wise, I don't know how much it would, like if you just applied it on its own, I don't know how much it would actually be there. It's more like a reflector type of thing, at least with this shade right here. I haven't tried the other two, which I'll play with these later on and see if it's the same with those. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the palette, considering it's only $10, not too bad. The quality's definitely there, yeah. And I think this is just a really fun collaboration that Profusion did. It's definitely given me the nostalgia vibe or kind of thing. And I'm pretty excited to try this one later on, because this one's probably going to be definitely up my alley. Although it only has two, I just noticed, it only has two shimmer shades in here, and then a pressed glitter. So it's a lot of mattes, which it's not bad. I'm going to go ahead and just swatch it just for fun. I want to swatch the shimmers. Ooh, those feel creamy. So these, yeah, these are definitely like creamy shimmers. Yeah. So those are definitely like what I'm used to when it comes to like shimmer shades, like very pigmented and very reflective. So, whereas the others, I'll just compare the others so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. These are kind of like, I don't know what I would call these, kind of like foils or something. Can you kind of see the difference? It probably doesn't look different to you, but this one is definitely like very pigmented and you can definitely see the shade there. Whereas these are kind of like lighter and they're kind of more reflective. Like they don't seem to have like a ton of base there. At least not these two. This one maybe. I swatched it weird. My bad. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. There's definitely a feel difference between. Anyway, so I'm pretty excited to try out the other palette whenever I do. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's my little review here. I definitely say these are worth picking up if you don't, if you have the extra funds or if you're looking to try some new makeup. I recommend these. I think they're fun and the quality is definitely there. But yeah, I kind of wish I had picked up a little more from this collection. I may go back to Walmart at some point and see if they have the lip set still there. I kind of wish I had picked up one of them just to see what it was like. But yeah, that is going to do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that really does help out my channel. And also let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this review today. Did you guys know Profusion did a collaboration with Mean Girls? Did you guys pick up anything from the collection? Let me know down below because I love chatting with you guys down there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!